Hi, my name is Jeremy, this is Red Beans Recording, and today is a quick little video to announce that a collaborative EP between me and a musician in Norway that we've been working on for 3 years is finally released. Yeah, I'm really happy to share it with the world, and I wanted to do a little announcement video and talk a little bit about how it was made. So let's get to the thing. First off, the EP is called All the Light I forgot what it's called, fuck. The EP is called All the Light I Do Not See. It's named after one of the tracks on the EP, which is actually in Norwegian. The title of the track is in Norwegian. The art was done by Joey Myers. He's the one that did the painting in my studio. I'll talk about that a little bit later. It's a 5-track EP, sort of in a Roykskap kind of like vibe. I can't remember exactly how it got started, but I think the musician from Norway, Vidar, reached out to me and talked about maybe doing a collab. I was like, okay, let's do a thing. We started sending tracks back and forth through a service called Splice, which is a collaborative online collaboration service that you can upload your sessions for various DAWs and share them between 2 different people, and it like does this really cool thing where you can do versioning, you can see the session laid out like as little clips. It's actually pretty freaking cool. We use Splice to start these tracks and make changes and sync them back and forth with each other so the other person could like download the new changes and mess around with that. Good job, Splice. With the exception of the track Sonder, Vidar started all of these tracks and I added to them, and then we went back and forth from there. So I can talk about Sonder and how that started. I had made this weird ass patch in Ableton that was kind of like this performance patch. It was like piano and a bunch of like synths stacked together, and depending on how you turn the macro knobs, different things would come in, and they were all kind of gated and arpeggiated and stuff like that. But there was also this piano that was holding it down, so you could like play the piano chords, and then the pads and the white noise arpeggios would come in depending on how you played it. So I had made this kind of ambient piece with that, and sent it to Vidar, and we went back and forth, and it kind of ended up turning into this like dark Depeche Mode era Violator thing, like in a rolling 6/8, which is kind of cool, 6/8 time signature. Vidar added vocals to it, which took it to a whole new level, and yeah, it's just, that's kind of one of the turning point tracks in the album. The other tracks are a little bit more bright. The first track, Take the Leap, again, Vidar started that one. He had a bunch of hardware, like a Circlon sequencer and a bunch of acoustic instruments that he used in his studio. I was mostly in the box, so I would get these really cool, kind of unique sketches from him, and I would do what I was doing, which was kind of like smash them into a pop song. So Take the Leap definitely starts things off in that way, where you can hear these kind of wonky, multiple time signature kind of accents in the beginning, and then we kind of drop into this like Roykskap-y kind of beat. In the middle, there's a sample from the movie The Jacket, which is a cool sort of sci-fi movie about time travel and stuff. I don't want to spoil it for you, so if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's got Adrian Brody in it. Good old Adrian Brody. So yeah, slapped that vocal in there. I had wanted to use that vocal in a track for a long time. I have another track that I made years ago that never saw the light of day that has that vocal sample in it. But it felt really appropriate here. So after the vocal sample, there's a breakdown, and then kind of turns into this big solo at the end, which was really fun. The next track was It Something I Said. Again, Vidar started that one. I got a really heavy sort of new disco vibe from that one, and ended up doing vocals for that myself. I really like the way that one turned out. I don't really have a lot to say about it. It's kind of funky. Was it something I said? Or maybe... Yeah, that's it. I like that track. The title track, the title is written in Norwegian, so it's the one that you probably can't read unless you're Northern European. Again, Vidar started that one, and that one's kind of got the most interesting instrumentation, like violin, multiple layers of it, tracked, a bunch of other really cool stuff. It's kind of got this like Middle Eastern sort of drum thing going on, and then kind of like a Spanish guitar thing. That's all samples. I don't play guitar that well, but I wanted to add that vibe to it to really push it to that level. We already talked about Sonder. And then the final track, Timeless. This was, I think, this was kind of the one we agreed was the most sort of fully realized, and it's really happy and positive and kind of has that Norse disco vibe with a combination of vocals that I sung, sort of just, there's no words, it's just singing a melody, and then sampled vocals also doing the thing. So it's got this really simple theme that goes throughout the entire song. It's got a Dark Souls sample in it. I think it's from the DLC of the first Dark Souls game. That was really, really fun. Any chance I get to use samples from that game, I really, really like. There's also Sif, if you guys are familiar with Dark Souls, Sif the wolf howling. There's the sound of Sif the wolf howling in multiple tracks. I don't know why. It just wanted to put howling in everything. Makes a really, really good end of build-up or sort of like breakdown sound, especially with a lot of echo or delay on it. That's kind of all I can really get into with the music. The art was done by Joey Myers. I had seen him doing these like dailies on his Twitter. They were really, really cool, kind of abstract graphic design dailies he was doing, and I was like, I really like that. Would you like to do an album cover for us? And he was like, yes, I will do an album cover for you. We went back and forth on some designs. He gave us a bunch of options, and I like what we turned out with. It really fits the title of the EP. Mastering was done by Dan D'Ascenzo at Left Right Audio. I remember that when we started talking about mastering, Vidar really wanted to go to a pro mastering studio as opposed to having me do it, which at that point I was totally okay with because I had been wearing all different hats throughout this entire process, and I really needed to step away. Usually I don't like other people doing my mastering, but I was okay this time around, and I was really impressed with what Dan did. I remember getting the masters back and listening to them on my Sony MD7506s, whatever those classic Sonys are, and thinking, oh no, this sounds like crap. But the problem was the headphones. Those Sonys have a really, really weird frequency response, and I wasn't taking that into account. So when I got the masters finally home and listened to them on these guys, I was like, holy crap, it sounds like it should. Like, it sounds exactly like it should. So pleasant mastering experience from Dan at Left Right Audio, and yeah, super, super awesome. That's pretty much it. Collaborations can be cool, they can be stressful, they can be everything in between. Having patience and communication and tools to help you, get through it and make the best of it is really, really good. And splice plus communication equals what you can now hear on all the streaming services and stuff like that. So check the links in the description for All the Light I Do Not See, and let me know what you think. And thanks for watching. I'm Jeremy, this is Red Beans Recording, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Now, let me guess. Dragged off to the past? We are both strangers in this strange land. But at least now there are two of us.